Can you talk a bit about the slave trade and how it affected Mauritius? You mentioned that.
It all started with the French colonizers because Mauritius was owned by the Indies. I don't know what it means. But as from 1715, it became to be a French colony. So the island was 100% forest. There was nothing apart from forest and all the natural, the animals and what was out of nature. Then the island was discovered in I don't remember now.
It's okay.
And then the first people who started to live on the island actually were the Dutch sailors. And there was a very well-known animal known as dodo, dio. It was Mauritius is the only place where we had dodo. But then with the Dutch sailors, when they had no more food, so they started killing them. So now it is an extinct animal. And when the Dutch were fed up with living on the island, so the French came and settled down. Basically, it's the French who started bringing slaves to Mauritius. But they had a really hard time. There is a kind of falaise which is found in the southwest region of the island, which has been classified as how do we say patrimoine national by the
National Park?
heritage? Yeah, national heritage by the United Nations because the slaves, they knew those who were trying to escape, they knew that they would be killed or they would be tortured to death. So those who could no more bear the suffering because of them being beaten up and everything, they just run to this valley and then they would throw themselves down and then they would fall into the sea. So many of the infrastructure actually has been built up by the slaves in the capital city. But there is lots of superstition about the fact that there are some houses in the south of the island which you cannot live in actually, because you can at night they say that you can hear the cries. The painful cry of slaves.
And so, how are Africans treated in Mauritius now?
It's very hard for them to accept the situation as it is, because they are the one who, few of them actually are successful at school, and most of them they still live in extreme poverty. And there was an attempt by some of the leaders, some of the descendants of the slaves who has come to be successful in education and who have a good professional occupation. These people try to approach the government and to present a request to the government for descendants of slavery to have a monetary compensation, but the government refused. So they still find it very unfair. It is unfair because most of them, they still live in poverty. That they haven't yet gone above it.
Thank you.
And they live in small houses. The government tried to build social welfare, low-income houses for them, but it's very crowded. It's not like it should have been. So most of them, they would be involved in manual work. And you can see that they still believe that they should receive a monetary compensation. And they should access to government jobs as others do.
And just quickly...
But education is free for everyone, though.
And the Indian population, I'm sorry.
Indian population, we are like 70 to 80%. When I say Indian, it's people who have, whose ancestors migrated from India to Mauritius. But then in Mauritius, there is this distinction between race. They won't say that they are Hindu Indians. They would say Hindu, Tamil, Marathi, Telugu. So Hindu are people who are from the state of Bihar and who speak Hindi. Tamil are those who are from the state of Madras or Tamil Nadu, and they speak Tamil language. Telugus are those who speak Telugu, Marathi those who speak Telugu. Basically, we are not the same in terms of skin color and features. We are different. So they make a distinction. You would never hear somebody on the island say, I am an Indian. They would say, I'm Tamil. And the other one would say, I'm Marathi.
And how did they migrate to Mauritius after the French, right? Or
After the French, so the British people came in 1810, and they tried to settle the island in their own way. There were lots of sugarcane fields for the sugar production at cheaper rate for it to be sent to Europe and eventually to Great Britain. And they started bringing people from India. They sent, because India was a colony of the British too. So those who were British people, the colonizers in India, what they did, they convinced people of India to come to Mauritius, that it's a land of opportunity, there is lots of money there and everything. So these people came in, but they organized it in such a way that there would be, India is very big, so people speaking different languages. What they did, they took someone from Tamil Nadu who speaks Tamil, someone from the state of Bihar speaking Hindi, someone from who speaks Marathi, someone who speaks Telugu, someone who speaks something else, and they were kept, when they were brought in Mauritius, they were taken away from their families. So these different people of different languages were kept together in the dorms, so they could not communicate with each other. And they were made to work very hard on the island, and they were paid very low coming tax. It was very low income, and most of the time they would try to fight for the right as employees or to go back to India, but it didn't work.
Thank you,
They
Aarthi.
couldn't go back, so they had to remain. So in my family, for example, it was a grandfather of my father who migrated as indentured laborer on the island. So I'm the 4th to 5th generation being born on the island. But in Mauritius, they will call me a Hindu. Yeah, because my father is Hindu, my mother is Hindu. So